Hello, good morning, and welcome to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. This program is also being carried live on our social media platforms, our YouTube channel, ZIZ Online, and via Facebook at ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 465-2555, 662-8674, or 718-577-2916. Those are the numbers you call to lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Let me greet those of you who are also listening from other parts of the world. Good afternoon and good evening. You're listening to The Edge for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024 on ZIZ Radio here in Bastia, St. Kitts. Earlier this week, we looked at the Eastern and Southern Caribbean Criminal Dynamics Study, a presentation on St. Kitts and Nevis. And in this report, it has the findings, of course, of the report. And the research team included Dr. Randy C. Prasad of the University of the West Indies, as well as Dr. Charles Katz, Dr. Kayla Freeman, Dr. Charles Katz and Dr. Kayla Freeman of the Arizona State University. The report has the public perception of gangs, prevalence and characteristics of gangs and gang members. It has gang-related homicide connects across parishes. It has current responses to gangs in St. Kitts and Nevis, the geographic distribution of gangs and gang members by station district, and it also has, among other things, the frequency of gang and non-gang homicides by motive from January 2017 through June 2023. So it is a very comprehensive report, and of course it is one that you cannot go through within an hour. But as days go by, I will look at it and share the information with you, and of course invite you to have a conversation on this in terms of your thoughts. The issue of crime and violence is one that I think Kitts and Nevis and other Caribbean islands are grappling with, and have recently decided to look at the issue of crime and violence from a public health perspective. And how is this affecting St. Kitts and Nevis' public health? And if you are to treat it as a disease, then it is more than likely that you will be able to cure it, or you will be able to slow it down. And so happening now is the 90-day campaign where the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is calling on citizens and residents to join in the fight against crime and violence. It is crime that is everybody's business, and we have our role to play in addressing this issue. In this report, I want to first look at the socio-demographic characteristics of gang members. And in this report, it says police estimates all 100% gang members are of African descent. And that is a given because I would say more than 80% of people in St. Kitts and Nevis are of African descent. 20% of gangs are 20% of gangs are all male, 80% are mostly male. Only 6% of gangs have foreign-born members. 93% of gang members are 19 years old and older. From the youth self-reports, 43 to 47% of gang members are of African descent. 43 to 50% of gang members are male. 37 to 40% gang members foreign-born. And the mean age is 15 years old. So it suggests that mostly men become gang members. Well, at least this is what the data is saying based off of the information that is collected. And when you look at the age range, you would see that it is young men in their teens. Very, very young men in their teens. And these are people who have not gotten the opportunity to experience life. They're just coming out of high school, or perhaps just coming out of the care of their parents and guardians at 19, and they have opted, for whatever reason it may be, to join a gang. Now, questions have been raised about the reason. Why are people joining gangs? Why aren't they joining another club or group that contributes to the positive development of the country? And so in this report, it speaks to the reasons and methods of gang joining. And we talked about this earlier with a guest, Mr. Austin Edinburgh. And the reason for joining a gang reported by school youth, and so this is a report that focused on school youth, 38.46% say protection. Others, 26.92% for company. 26.92% for making friends. 26.92% for getting money or other things. 20.51% join so that they can get away with illegal activities. 20.51% also join because a friend was a group member. So that somewhat suggests peer pressure. 19.23% join to feel important. 16.67% join to get money or other things from selling drugs. 15.38% join so that they could feel like they belong to something. 15.38% join to meet members of opposite sex. 15.38 members they join to participate in group activities. And 11.54% join because someone in the family was also a part of a gang. But topping the list is protection. Top three are protection, just to have company, and to make friends. That is the reason reported by school youth. Now, initiation requirements for joining a gang, as reported by school youth, like what drives you? What is the initiation process? 33.33% are saying absolutely nothing. 17.95% says to commit a crime. 17.95% they join to kill someone. 15.38% join to fight or to shoot someone. 14.10% join to get jumped in or beaten up. 12.82% would say or said that they were born into it. And 8.97% is saying get sexed in. These numbers are the information and the reasons. I think for some of you who are listening, you would argue or you would say that it is troubling. And it brings the question of whether we as a society are doing our part in crime prevention. I was having the conversation earlier this week that crime prevention is not just the sole responsibility of the police. It is a shared responsibility with the entire society. I believe the police should be the last resort. But in terms of that early intervention, of course, others would argue that it begins at home. Some would say that it begins in the schools, in the classroom, with the teachers and what have you. Others would say it begins with community groups and organizations. But the police, I believe, should be the last resort. And so it is important for us to set the right foundation in supporting our nation's youth so that they do not become a part of the statistics that I am sharing here with you this morning. Looking at the risk factor, on the list you have emotional neglect, physical neglect, emotional abuse, physical abuse, exposure to domestic violence, community violence, and collective violence. Some say the family environment in terms of alcohol and mental illness. A parent is in jail, and so there's nobody to provide that guidance. The parent has died, or what have you. And so these are some of the risk factors that have been mentioned here in the report.
Devon, you're speaking of a subject that is personal to me.
Okay.
And my eldest son died at 46, well, 44. He died at 44 a few years ago. He and I had a great relationship. He looked just like me. He always wanted to dress like me, nice and everything. But when he was about 13 years old, his mother and I broke up. And we kind of strayed away because I ended up getting married again, and there was confusion there. And his mother decided that I was not going to see him. He had such a father figure in his life, and seeing I was from the Caribbean, I illustrate a lot of the things that my father illustrated onto us, and so I did those things. But then when I left the States and came to St. Kitts, he felt like the man in his life, the man that he looked up to in his life, was no longer there. Living in Compton, California, it's a place where lots of drugs, the Bloods and the Crips are. And they're not, I'm going to kill you or anything. They kill you. You know, it's a very devastated place. And I'd get a call from his aunt saying that he was in prison because he had joined the gangs. And he joined the gangs for something you said there a while ago. Protection. You know, his father wasn't there anymore. So he wanted that protection, and he wanted to, in a sense, learn how to be a man. So he went with the gangs. And he, after a while, after he came out of prison, I got a call from his aunt, and I was trying to tell him, that's not the way that I brought you up, and that's not the way that you should go. But at that time, he was already a man.
Okay.
And I said to him, where you're at now, what you're doing now, is not something that I approved of. But I respect your decision to join or to be what you want to be because you're a man now. and all that I had taught you and everything. At times, we try to steer our children in the right direction, but we must respect at times when they get to a certain age, they have a choice to make of their own. And it was about 3 years ago, he got out of prison. And when you get out of prison, you'll be on parole, and you're not supposed to be around any gang members. That's a violation. And that night he got out, he went to see his homeboys because he haven't seen them in a while. And at that time, he had a gun on him. And the sheriff came and chased him, and he ran away and ended up catching up with him, handcuffed him, and maced him and gave him almost 10 bullets. And he died. But the real reason why he went to a gang is because he wanted protection and he wanted to feel wanted. And he wasn't getting that anymore. So some of the times, that's what happened. Whenever there is, when there was a two-family home, and the home becomes, you got a broken home, and there's no father to guide the child. A mother can do as much as she can, but the one thing I always try to tell people, a woman could never teach a boy, how to be a man. You could never teach him how to be a man. And stuff like that. She can do a lot of the things that the responsibilities of a man, but a woman can never teach a boy how to be a man, because there are certain things that a man needs to teach his son that the woman are not able, and also vice versa with the woman as well. So, as you rightly say there, that it's protection.
Thank you for sharing that experience, Bringit, and I'm sorry for your loss. But protection, your experience, I believe, is the experience that so many other people here in the Caribbean and further afield have had, right? In joining a gang because, and if you look at the top three, they want to feel protected. They want to be around a group of people who they feel will welcome them, because perhaps they don't have that support at home, perhaps they don't have that support from the community. And it goes back to the conversation that, or the comments I was making earlier, in what about the different support groups or different groups and organizations that should be performing the role of building lasting relationships, building or making them feel protected, so they do not see the need to want to join a gang or be in bad company. And so that is a question that we must ask ourselves. But after asking ourselves that question, there must be some sort of action behind of it. I'm not saying that to suggest that in St. Kitts and Nevis we're not doing absolutely anything to address this issue, because there are groups and organizations that young people can join to build relationships and to build their skill set and all of these different things. Do we need to be more aggressive with it in terms of trying to target more young people? Do we wait until they have gone astray to try to pull them back on the straight and narrow? Because you made a very important point there when you said there is going to come, or there will be a point in life or in time where your child is already grown and they now have to chart their own course. There's a grown man or a grown woman, and you can only say so much, but they have decided that this is the path that I want to take. You can offer advice. You can tell them, well, I don't think you should do this or do that. But it can come a point in time where they're gonna have to chart their own course, and might sound harsh, but live with whatever choices that were made. But rest assured that you would have offered that advice, and you said to them, I don't think you should do this, or I think you should try this, or whatever. It is not to suggest that it is a failure on parents across the board, because you also mentioned that there are parents who go above and beyond to ensure that their child or children have all that they need, so they don't have to go and join a gang for money or for different things. They don't have to join a gang to make friends, because they could make friends, good friends that is, in the community. They don't have to join a gang for protection because mommy and daddy are there, and there's that family support system where uncles and aunts and cousins, and the list goes on. And their parents will go above and beyond. So when all of that is done, when that foundation has been laid, but the child or children still decide that they're going to head down that path, then what do you do? And you're wondering, well, what could have caused that? I believe that I did all that was humanly possible to steer my child on the straight and narrow path. But they've decided, I want to try something different. Maybe it be a case of curiosity. They just want to explore it and see, what is this life about? They want to feel wanted, important. Because perhaps all of that support that you've provided, they still don't feel important. They want to be heard. Because perhaps you're not allowing them to be heard. These are conversations that we must have, and I like this type of conversations because we get to look at the data and try to compare it between then and now, and what can we do differently so that we don't make the same mistakes again. I make the point, though, Spring It, that this is an issue that we can't fix for today, tomorrow. And the sooner we realize that, the better it is for us. We can't fix this for today, tomorrow, or this year for next month. Sorry, this month for next month. It does not mean, however, that we cannot address it and we can bring about some kind of change.
Even though my son had whatever, but I don't think that he had deserved to be treated by 6 police and give him all those bullets with handcuffs on him, in spite of all that he might have done and everything. It's because one of the things that really hurt me for a while, he had a daughter. And I used to communicate with his daughter because his daughter used to ask his grandmother, which is my son's mother, Granny, how come I have a grandmother, but I don't have a grandfather? And with that, we started to really communicate. She's in university now, and that girl, they did get rewarded for the death.
Okay.
And so that would take her through her university and being able to supply for her, as she leave university. And so that's the good part about it. But at times I really miss my son. And there were times I used to blame me for separating, from his life. And so sometimes that is a hard thing for a child when they're very close to their father,
Thank you so much for that. It's 11:28. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation and engage with the audience as well. Let's take this break.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Tune in to ZIZ Television every Saturday for the 2024 America's Men's Netball Championships at Warner Park. See teams from St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, England, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines battle it out for the top spot. The games will be shown in 2 blocks every Saturday from 4:30 to 6:30 in the evening and from 8 to 10 in the evening. It's the 2024 America's Men's Netball Championships every Saturday on ZIZ Television. Be a part of the action.
Welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM.
And Devon, just before you continue, remember yesterday you had the conversation about the citizen thing with the children them, and you also had one where it was fact-checked, and those 2 other persons, the gentleman who was on with you a couple of days ago, what's his name again? Talking about the citizen thing, getting the $1,000. Edinburgh, and the other person, Natter, I think that said,
Natter.
Right. Well, remember there was 2, but there was another one that was then fact checked because you didn't even know the place that called Addie's Place.
Yes, the place you told me about in Green.
Well, what my knowledge in radio that when people say things, and I'm part of that institution, I like to go and fact check.
Okay.
So when I left here yesterday, I went to the place. I went to the place, and when I reached there, I had on my ZIZ shirt, and one of the administrators there said that she got about 3 calls from one was from her sister and 2 other persons. That was that they heard when the person said that there is lots of paint there, and how can you have the children there? Well, I went to check it out for myself, and all that is false.
Wow.
Yeah, they are reconstructing the place. They are doing some work on the place, for real. But they were very hurt to know that people on the air saying things without being fact-checked. And at that same time, they were also having a walkthrough with all the parents. They had a meeting yesterday with all the parents, so the parents themselves can see what they are doing there at the place. And what they're doing there at the place for real, and what the caller called yesterday and talked about, that was completely a lie.
Wow.
And they even say that they would love for you to come there and give an interview with them and bring the camera and see the place and everything, because the place is in renovation.
Okay.
And stuff like that, because they were very, very upset to know that something is being spread that is not true. And one of the reasons why I really went there, because I think a year last year, when our anniversary, we donate a refrigerator there. Yeah, we donated a refrigerator there. And so I really went because the owner of the place, Ms. Shatterton, she and I get along real good. And she was there and everything like that. And we're very hurt to know somebody was on the radio spreading those lies. So for that person, I met the person this morning who said that. And I let him know that it was not true, that I went and I checked it out. And stuff like that. He didn't say that I'm sorry or anything like that. But when it comes to things like that, especially involving children, and you're spreading things like that, it can cause a lot of havoc on people. So that was fact-checked, and the story was not true.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with the place, but I will take an opportunity to go there and see for myself, and even have an interview with them to get a better understanding of the operations there. But thank you for sharing that. It's 11:33, and we'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. 662-8674. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Greetings. Thanks for taking our call. Okay, let's start here first. Concerning people saying things about others that is not so. About some people talking things about anything that is not so. The truth always prevails, you know. And, you know, even when it is tried to be swept under a bushel or whatever, it just, you know, it just explode and show itself in a matter of time. So what they are saying, once people who it is said about know that it is not so. Are we still online?
Yes, you are.
Once someone know or institution know that this is not the truth, there's really nothing to be fussy about, you know. And the kind of people we are, you know, these are people that always talk things. If they have a saying in Jamaica, everything goes so, it near goes so. And these are people, even from the enslavement times, yeah? When master sick, you know, and soon dead, you know, the house nigger make sure that information there reach the field niggers, you know. Even them who will say, make master dead, or them who will say, okay, have mercy upon master, you know. And it just like go from them times. We talk things, we just talk things in our community, wherever we there. We just talk things. And as I said before, if it not goes so, it near goes so. And I don't think the whole heap of halabaloo, even though talking, saying things about people that is not true and in a derogative way is all part and parcel of the polite violence which you speak about. Because people use their tongue to murder people. And as we keep saying, there are many murderers who don't shed blood. But we need not take it on too much. More than so. I feel say we have spent too much energy. They spend too much energy upon that. What this say and what that say and what she say and what he say. You know? We have to try and aspire to look at the bigger pictures around me. Yeah? Alright. Let's catch up on yesterday's conversation. Me hear what you said, my brother. And be passionate about it too. Now, personally, I start with myself. I have 13 children. 10, 2 of them born in St. Kitts. The rest of them born out there. The mothers from out there too. No. I have started with myself and I say that if the 11 children were born out there, right? And especially the places where they're born. We were talking yesterday about the dollar value. The places where they're gone, the dollar value is what it is. Our easy money is big. One of our dollar is a whole heap of money out where them there. If I send 100 easy dollar to where them there, it's a whole heap of money that. See? So for them 11 children, even though them is my children and I born here, even though there's my children, for them to benefit from financial resources here in St. Kitts, it won't be fair. And there's a chance. You said I was speculating, but it was an assumption that they are going to do it. But that's their motherland. That's where their mother is from. So it's either they're going to make that financial support go to where the mother is from. Mother's first choice, you know. Come what may, you know. The benefits from that financial support from St. Kitts going in the motherland, whether it be Jamaica, whether it be Santo Domingo, whether it be Cuba, wherever, or Cayman Islands where my children them there. That's the point we are making. And see, I talk about Cayman Island, the dollar value might be different. It might be up there. So there's nothing wrong with that. What we was comparing is the dollar value.
All right, caller, thank you. We want to take some more calls, so thank you so much for your contribution to the program. We have a caller on the line. Let me make this point quickly. We should not normalize sharing information that is false. We should not normalize sharing information that is false. If you know the information is not accurate, keep it to yourself. And sharing information that is dangerous, sharing information that is false is dangerous. And you should not be offended if you are confronted on sharing false information. These things should not be normalized. So we should not say that it's okay for you to tell a blatant lie because eventually the truth is going to come out. That's a slippery slope. A very, very slippery slope. It's 11:42 and you're listening to The Edge. We'll take this other call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hola. Turn down the radio. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Just a question. If I didn't know the question, I would not ask you. I see you in different shirt and tie, and so you might know more than me, right? The fellow that burying today, do you know that if they hold somebody for him?
I don't know.
Okay, that's why I asked you, because I say it's like how you just spend everything, you might know. But I'm just telling the young people, the young boys especially, must keep out of trouble, not just they're getting money to do things. And they won in 1840 then, and the place is so hot right now. And they must fix the prison. Don't got it there that thing, because too much of people, never mind the bad, too much of people in prison jam up on the place real hot and get a smart hospital and a mini mat because it's out of town.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's take this call. Hello, caller? Oh, we lost that call. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. Let's take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good day. Good morning, Devon.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Okay. Well, the reception of ZIZ over the site is not too clear, but anyway, I'll try my best.
Okay.
Now, Devon, some things are happening in St. Kitts. I know for sure because I live in St. Kitts. And it is not right. And I do not think anything like that should happen. And this happens in the portfolio of the Minister of National Security. Now, Devon, I do not mind if I reach the retirement age of 62 and then I retire, and then you gonna call me and tell me, well, boy, I need me yard sweep up a morning time, 3 days a week, and I don't have nobody to do it. So you wouldn't mind taking on that little sideline thing, and I just pay you for that. That is okay with me. But when you're gonna turn with me, no, when I couldn't pass 62 and I retire, that is Social Security pension age. I retire, and then you're gonna bring in what you call somebody else to do the work. That's fine. But because now the person who come in to do the work is wearing the color shirt that you want, and they pass 62, they're gonna steady you. But another person now in your portfolio who haven't reached Social Security retirement fund yet, but because they're not wearing the color shirt what you want them to wear, you're gonna turn them away and bring back somebody who don't retire and put them there. You don't do that. That doesn't make sense. We are going forward, and the younger person them have to work and live to reach the Social Security age too. So when you're gonna turn away a younger person and bring in an old person who don't retire, that is what has caused the Gaza Strip. And a lot of that is happening. It is happening in government headquarters. A special advisor to a minister is running their own personal vehicle, doing taxiing over Port Zante, and the money is big from the government. So they leave the government work and go over Port Zante when they step in, go haul tourists. So what happened to the government work?
All right. Thank you, caller, for your contribution. We want to take some more calls. You're listening to The Edge. Let's take this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good day. This country is cursed, From 93, the country cursed. I'm not old enough, but there's some remarks and some words were passed in 93. And it's people who passed those remarks, and then you had a war or something the day after. If that's true, that is where the country cursed. Whoever passed such remarks need to go to the Lord, ask the Lord for forgiveness on this country, and those who participate in the war with whatever, they need to ask the Lord for forgiveness. You do not use children in those kind of incidents and expect the Lord to be pleased with your country. They need to go and ask the Lord for forgiveness and turn this country back to the Lord. After that event, I really think it's history, and I realize that St. Kitts is cursed. St. Kitts never used to operate so by the old parents, listening to the old parents how St. Kitts used to operate. Everybody used to have manners, respect, loyalty. After that, you just fall. And you wonder, where you gone? What happened? Why? It's because of the 93 incident where it happened. The father cost the country until those who made those false and those wrongful moves go to him in sinister prayer and turn this country back to him. This country was a godly country.
All right, caller, contribution. Let's take this call. Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Mr. Cornelius, respectfully, you see the kind that they talk, they is you. You mentioned in the report, and I kind of I'm skeptical about the report because, I don't know how the census went. We don't really know. We just know this was done and presented to us, and we use it as authority. But even you mentioned force protection. Many people, become police and soldier for protection. What I'm saying, right, is that the whole thing is a social issue. The parents do not know the children. From 6 weeks old, the children are given to the system, whether crutch, the care, whatever we call it. The parents wake them up in the morning, feed them, dress them, and take them off. They pick them up. Sometimes, late evening time, feed them, bathe them, they don't have to feed them and put them to sleep. The parents do not know the children. This thing is a social issue. The thing we need to do. And then you mention money, protection and money. These are social issues. What we need to do to address the problem really is stop looking outside at the day and look inside at us. They are us. They are me, you. They are our children. They are us. Is a social failure. We cannot take and separate ourselves from them. I know one of my sons run in the police station for rescue. You know why? Because we live in the neighborhood over there. One of my sons get shot. You know why? Because we live over there. We need to see where we actually begin with us, the elders, where we went wrong. These are our seeds, is a reflection of us we are witnessing. What have we done wrong in society? And begin to change it from within the society. Not wonder what make them man behaving so. We know is your brother and your cousin. You know. We are taking it into words and using words as though the more eloquent we are in elocuting, then we will find solution. No. Is us. Is your brother them and your friend them. You know them. You know all the people them in all these things here. Right. And you know too many of the reasons why people just would you say, I am not a violent man. Circumstances make me what I am. Right. Society is to be blamed.
All right. Thank you for your contribution to the program. It's 11:51. Let's hit this call. Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Greetings forwardly. Yeah.
We seem to have lost that caller. Please call us back. 465-2555 718-577-2916. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. It's 11:52 and we take this program up until noon for our midday newscast. Listen to the conversation that has been had, and for those of you who are just tuning in, I was sharing some information from the USAID Criminal Dynamics Study for St. Kitts and Nevis, prepared by the University of the West Indies here in the region and the Arizona State University. Professors there, they worked together to put this information together with regards to St. Kitts and Nevis, looking at the risk factors for gang affiliation, reasons for joining a gang-related homicide connects across parishes, current responses to gangs in St. Kitts and Nevis. I will be continuing to go through this report as I share the information with you. Now, some of the key findings of the report as I wrap up is there is a serious gang problem. Police estimate that there are 15 active gangs and 323 gang members. Gang joining is related to adverse childhood experiences. Gang members are disproportionately responsible for crime and violence. Most gang violence is retaliatory gun violence and expressive violence. Same 3 gangs involved in homicides over the over the 14.5-year period, and all gang homicides connected through the parish of St. George, which is Bastia, St. Kitts. So these are the key findings. This information is between 2000 and 2022. And so it dates back to 22 years. What are we doing to fix this issue? I keep hearing people say, let us not politicize crime and violence. But everywhere you turn, it is being, everybody's adding politics to it, saying, well, it ain't got nothing to do with the crime fighting because my party ain't in power. And I gonna get serious about fighting crime when my party gets into office. And I am not directing this comment to any particular party in St. Kitts and Nevis, but it is reality. People actually say these things, where it's like we eat and breathe politics. It is okay for you to have your political affiliation. I am not going to knock that. But when you allow that to impede your judgment, something is seriously wrong with your mindset. And something is seriously wrong with you. Fighting crime is everybody's business. And if you love your country, you do what is necessary to address this issue. We ought to really mature ourselves and reflect on the theme for this year, in this year's independence, together a people proud and strong. And I also go back to the theme from last year, which says developing maturely. Perhaps we are developing, but are we developing fast enough, or are we developing maturely fast enough? Because the mindset of our people, I believe, sometimes is what hinders the progress of the nation. And so my plea here today on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM at 11:56 a.m. on Wednesday, 25th September 2024 is for us to work together to address our challenges as a people, whether it be in the area of crime and violence, education, healthcare, social and community development, tourism, agriculture. It doesn't matter what it is. But let us commit ourselves to working together to achieve one common goal, and that is for St. Kitts and Nevis to bloom, St. Kitts and Nevis to prosper, St. Kitts and Nevis to further develop. You've been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on this program. I want to share with you that it is almost 1 year since I have been hosting this talk show, The Edge. It was officially launched on October 2nd, 2023, and very soon, October 2nd, 2024, will be here. Time goes by really fast, and I was able to reflect on that when I realized that it's going to be 1 year since I've been on ZIZ banging my mouth, as people would say. So I realized that time is going by really fast, and so if you have anything that you want to get done and achieve, man, do that and stop wasting time. Time waits for no man. You guys take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Join us